I'm very pleased to be joined today by veterans who are all members of the American Legion from the Peoria area.
Post number
Post
two.
number 2, all right. And let me introduce them. Gary Hall is to my right, Al Burnett Sr., Bruce Stewart, and Tom Bencher. And they're here today because we have a very important piece of legislation. It's Senate Bill 1127, and it states that wherever we have airports, is specific to airports, that we should fly the American flag and the POW-MIA flag. And this is an issue that these guys have been working on for quite some time. I'm a chief co-sponsor of the bill. The bill sponsor is Senator Tom Cullerton, and we're going to pass that today. And these gentlemen are here to watch it and to have me introduce them to the Senate. And I really appreciate their efforts because this wouldn't have been done without them. So, Gary, why don't you explain just a little bit about, how this all transpired?
Well, tell you the truth, we were at the airport for a honor flight, and Al and I, and we were there. We saw the looking around, and Al said, "Hey, there's the flag." He says, "I don't see any POW flag flying underneath it, Gary." And I went, "No, it's not." So I says, "We ought to do something about that." And Al goes, "Darn right we ought to do something about that." So as we were there, we kind of hem-hawed around about it. And the next day I figured out how to get the phone number of the guy in charge, Mr. Gene Olson. Called him up and talked to him about it, and he said no. I said, "Why?" And he said, if I fly the POW flag, he says, that might open me up to have to fly the Boy Scouts of America, chili supper, and all that other stuff. And I went, well, that's kind of crazy. I thought to myself, that's kind of crazy. So I said, okay. So we started out from there. Al started getting POW flags and MIA flags, POW-MIA flags and USA flags. And every time we was at for the honor flights, he passed them out and had a little story, right, Al?
Yes.
A little story about what was going on. And we talked to this person. Every person I talked to told me that they didn't see any problem with the POW-MIA flag. And he kept telling people, well, it's controversial. So I went before his board, and he said, until it's a law, he said, I'm not going to do it. And I said, well, you know what? I know a few people. I'm just going to make it a law. So as far as the POW flag, the reason that POW flag means so much to me is the fact that it symbolizes hope for anybody that's got a missing loved one from any of the wars where the warrior has not returned and they don't know whether he's alive or dead. And that's really what the POW flag really means, that you never give up and you never surrender.
The reason that was so important to me is the fact that the guys from this tank never come back home. They never will. I'm sorry.
All right.
All you got out of a 10-ton tank is maybe 500 pounds of metal. You don't have them. They evaporated. When 18 rounds goes up in the tank, they evaporate. They'll never come home, see their family. But if they do, if some of them that got hurt or comes home, they need to have that flag and say, we know you gave the ultimate sacrifice for this country, for what you believe in. That's all I got to say.
Very, very important.
How about Bruce?
Bruce, do you want to
I'm
add
just
anything?
proud
Tom?
to be part of this campaign by Gary and Al for this cause. I'm proud to be associated with them.
POW-MIA flag being flown in this country tells the American citizens that their service member who has not returned or they have not heard from them is not forgotten. And I don't think that as citizens, we should forget our warriors who have fought in the different wars that this country has been involved in. So until there is closure by the family, I think we should all remember.